Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I am upset that we're having to do this again. I had a rough week, I had a ton of stuff to do and the house got away with me. I'd really hoped that these cleans were done with, but I guess not. So the goal of this video is to get as much done in an hour as I possibly could. I know I have said this multiple times, but you ladies that work full time and still keep your house together, how? How do you do it? Like, are you naturally clean? Is that where I'm going? Like, it is a struggle for me to get home and do anything. And and I'm not making excuses. I'm just explaining where my mind goes. Like, this was a day I had to go do a pickup, and pardon me, that's Joe in the background. So it was a struggle. Like I needed to do the groceries, then I also had to cook dinner, and it was like, man, after I did that, I just didn't want to do anything else at all. Um, but I made myself for an hour. I was like, I'm gonna clean for an hour and just get as much as I possibly can done because this house just can't stay this way. I guess if I'm looking at it from a positive perspective, normally I would have not even made the time and done the hour. So that is a big plus. Like I said before, I'm so busy and there's just not enough I mean, I can't find that. I won't make the extra time in the day. Like, it feels like there's not enough time, but I mean, I know it's really just a matter of me not making it. And I could clean up as I go. And sometimes I'm really good about it. But then there's other times like this that I'm just not. And I don't understand why my mind lets me do that, because like I know in the moment I'm like, Eric, you're gonna have to clean this up later. And more times than not, recently in the last year or so, that does get me motivated enough to do it, or not even necessarily motivated. I was actually telling my kids one day, the other day, they were like, I'm just not motivated to do stuff, and I'm like, nobody's ever really motivated to do stuff. I mean, sometimes we just have to make ourselves do it. I'm not motivated to go to work. I got to pay my bills. So, I mean, I guess that's motivation in a way, but it doesn't feel like it. Like, sometimes you just have to go through the motions. And, so sometimes I'm motivation and I'm excited to do it. And other times I'm like, I just don't want to feel like miserable in the morning when I wake up and my kitchen's dirty. But so that's what I'm doing here. And that's what the dramatic title was about. But I am disappointed that it got this bad again. So maybe that's enough motivation to help me keep it clean. Again, I've told you guys I've got a 30-day thing that I'm working on right now. I think I'm on day 15 that I'm really excited to show you guys about, because one of the things I constantly do talk about on this channel is, it's great to do something and to get a room cleaned up and tidy, but what am I going to do different to not do this again? Like, what are the steps that I'm going to take to change my behaviors? Because I can clean a room from top to bottom. My problem is I don't stick with it. And I don't do the little upkeeps and the basic things. Some people clean as they go, not me. And again, like I said, I have been better about it, and I am more aware. One of the one of the things about Jeremy and me being separated is that I have realized what a clutter bug I am and how bad I am to just tornado everything. Now, I'm great to go back and clean it up, but it's all at once, and it's like, it would be so much easier if I would just do 10 minutes here and, 5 minutes here, or put it up as soon as I'm done with it. Which that is something I've been, a couple of y'all have said it on here, and I've heard it a lot, especially with ADHD, which I have been diagnosed as. Don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. And I have to tell myself that. But as you can see here, this was one of those mornings that didn't. And it's like, I want to blame it. Oh, well, it's on 75 hard, and it's on the fact that I'm doing keto and I have to make everything. Well, I made dinner before. I made dinner every night when I was a stay-at-home mom. I made breakfast and lunch and all that other stuff. And I still didn't clean up as I go. So it's not an excuse for me. Now, granted, I'm not saying that it's not okay. We all have busy days, busy weeks, sometimes months, where things are just so chaotic, like it's just not physically possible to keep up with it all. But what I'm frustrated about is that mine Let's not as often, but like I have more of those than I used to have more of those than I didn't. And they're getting I just hoped I was done. But I guess maybe that's the mistake I'm making here in my thought process is thinking again that once I get my house clean, it's going to stay clean. There are steps that have to be taken in order to keep it clean, and I didn't take them this time. I really wish I could remember what all was going on this week that kept me from doing it. I just wasn't home, and when I was. It did feel like I was just prepping food, and I think I was sick this week. I think that's exactly what this was. I think this is the week of the race. I ended up sleeping whatever day, like 2 days afterwards. It's crazy, and I guess there's something that happens like when you run something big like that. Like the second day, the day of the race, I was fine. The day after the race, I was tired and a little bit sore. The second day after the race, I felt like I had the flu, and I just was in such a bad mood and so tired. And I was off the day after, so I went home and slept for 12 solid hours. Like, didn't wake up, didn't have nightmares like I normally do. I normally always wake up about 2:30, 2:45, even when I'm not off. I mean, even when I am off, even though I normally have to get up at 3 to be at work at 6. But it was my off day, and I didn't do any of that. Like, I slept, and I felt so much better the next day. And I think it finally all caught up with me. I have, as of this voiceover, I have 17 days left of 75 hard, and I'm ready to be done with it, but it's been great. I have decided, which I had said before I was going to do it, a low carb keto lifestyle is just going to be something that I need to stick with. I overall feel great. I am really excited or curious to go. I'm having some blood work done and just a regular checkup tomorrow at the doctor, and I'm wanting to see how my cholesterol is and talk with him just about and see what he thinks. I love my doctor. We've talked again about like gluten-free and that type of stuff, and I got tested for celiac and all that, and everything's fine, but I trust his opinion, so I'm excited to talk to him about it and really just to have my blood work done to see how all my like cholesterol, that type of stuff is. Which I actually don't eat near as much fat as I should. But the low carb has been really good for me. I feel a big difference. Which I'll go over more of that when we do finally finish 75 hard. You guys see the laundry even got out of control. My washing machine broke this week too, I believe. I was trying to, or maybe it was the week after. Fortunately, Jeremy fixed it. It was just a little clogged thing, which I don't know if that'll ever happen again. But I mean, it just being that simple of a fix, but I'm very thankful and very blessed because those machines are expensive. Even like the cheap ones are expensive. And then my coffee pot, my Ninja coffee pot finally broke, which I've had it for a while. But it seems like 6 years is the max you can get out of any appliance. And I mean any appliance. Washing machine, dishwasher, oven. And, the little appliances, I mean, like 6 years for a coffee pot just doesn't seem, I don't know. But Jeremy had an extra one where I got him a bun for Christmas. He just kind of retired his other one, and we almost got rid of it. But I was like, we both decided, I was like, let's just hang on to it last minute. We never know when one of us, our coffee pot's going to break. So I just took his little cheap Mr. Coffee pot, and I'm just going to use it until it goes. We talked about getting me a new coffee pot because y'all know I do love my coffee, but I don't do anything fancy with it. I just drink black coffee. And I have a coffee grinder, and I have a little frother if I ever do feel like being fancy, which doesn't happen. So I'm really good. I'm not explaining what I'm doing because I don't think it's pretty obvious. I'm folding my clothes. I've been trying to put them away, as you can see, as I go. So that is something that's good. Oh, my video is not ending here, by the way. Normally, I end my videos when I fold laundry, but that is not happening this time. We're going to actually do a couple more things. So I had a really good Mother's Day, and then the next day my son Mason came up. So I had all of my children except for my oldest, but he works in the restaurant industry, so he obviously had to work, but it was fine. It was really good. The actual day itself was pretty quiet, but my son got me a series of books, and they got me a bird bath, and then we're going to get flowers sometime this week, and plant them in my yard. Joe got me some flowers and we planted those, the marigolds. We planted those in the front yard over here at the little trailer. So I'm excited to be getting some outdoor stuff done. I've got some old footage from, believe it or not, from fall where Jeremy and I worked on the front porch. So I'll finally get to show you guys that. Probably next week's video will be more outdoorsy stuff. I had been meaning to get to Jeremy's house and start working back there, but it's just been these weeks. Oh my gosh. It's just there's not enough time in the day, and I feel like I'm always in my car or I'm always at work, one or the other. But Joe's out of school next week it's his last week, so I say it should calm down, but every time I say that, it seems like things do the opposite and they get super busy. Okay, so this is all that I got done in an hour. Y'all saw the bedroom. Now, Joe, don't do that. The light's not broken. See, it's fine. That stuff that came out of the kitchen or out of the bedroom, and then of course that stuff I washed by hand, and then in there were more dishes that I pulled out. So I still need to do the living room and the bathroom. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so I did get to my bathroom, but it was like the next day, and I got to the living room probably the next day. This is before my washing machine went kaput. My washing machine bit the dust when I had that big quilt in my room, quilt from the living room in there, and it had to sit out on the porch for a little bit. It was just ridiculous. And then it was something so simple, which I'm so grateful for. So I did a lot of little things, and I forget to mention, like, I go through the house and I show you guys all the things that I did. And one of the things I was most excited about was the curtains that I hung in the hallway. Again, I started out with saying I don't want to hang curtains in the house because I don't like the way that looks, but now I've hung curtains over all the the closets that don't have doors, and now the hallway. And I figured it would make a difference in the temperature of the house, but I am so surprised at how much of a difference. It helps with the air conditioner in the back, keeping the cool up here, and then keeping the front, because obviously the living room stays warm with the windows. I do have two window units in the one in the living room, one in the kitchen, and then I have a third in my back bedroom. But at night, I don't like to turn the ones on in the living room or in the kitchen because it stays okay. But during the day, it gets super hot in the back part of the house. And now I turn the air on low in the living room for the dog, for Harry. But I don't want it going all the way down to the back of the house because he doesn't go back there anyway. But okay, so Jeremy hung these curtain rods up for me. They were very difficult for him and they didn't end up being too even, but I am so tickled with how they turned out. Okay, so here is what the room looks like with the curtains shut. I love it. Let's actually pull this over and get the full effect. I love it because a lot of times I go to bed super early because I gotta be at work at 3. And these are kind of blackout curtains, but not really. So they cover enough that it's nice, but they move real smooth so you can see the river. Oh, there's somebody on their boat. So yeah, I really like these. I didn't think I was gonna like them. As you guys heard me talk about them before with the dark. I just put them in here because I didn't want to waste the curtains and I really wasn't sure what to do with them. I found a blanket, a Harry Potter blanket that I'd started on a couple years ago and never finished. It was a baby blanket and that child is now like 4, I think. So I don't think they need the blanket, but we'll finish it anyway. But yeah, I am really tickled with this. That middle curtain is not even. Jeremy had a time putting them up. I've got to order some more curtain rods for those right there. I think I'm probably gonna end up having to get those little cheapy metal ones, just because if you guys can see the corner, like the window is flush up against it. I don't know what's going on. I think there was more room originally, and then when the previous owners added that stuff, they made it a little different. So, but yeah, I'm tickled with it. So I don't know what video you guys are seeing this on. This is a Sunday, Mother's Day. I forgot I had to pay my sewer bill, so I came home because I wasn't planning to come home. And I cleaned for an hour because I was like, you know what, future Erica will enjoy this. Current Erica is not enjoying. You know what, I am. I am enjoying cleaning. I need to quit being so negative. But yeah, I got that up. And let me show you guys some other things I did in my kitchen. Okay, so nothing major. But I added those two right there. I think I might need to change the position a little bit. And I felt like there was something else. My coffee pot died. So, oh my gosh. What is that? Crazy what the light will do. Okay, so I guess I need to clean that. My coffee pot died. Jeremy fortunately had an extra coffee pot. So I just took his and I'm just going to use it till it goes. There's no sense in buying an expensive one. But yeah, so I kind of like that space. I don't have anything in particular to put there, so we're just going to leave it like that for now until something comes up. Now, this area is a little crowded, but that's okay. We're going to leave that there. I might just even use that open space for cooking because I don't have a lot of cooking space. So let's see. I don't think there's anything different in here. So this yoga mat I've had for years, and I'm gonna have to get another one. It is the only thing. Let me turn my TV off, y'all.
Here, out to the side. But if you can see that motivation, that's probably the biggest question so many people ask is how do you get motivated to.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna try and walk and talk and hope it doesn't make you guys sick. I'm doing my last walk of the day, my last outdoor exercise. I'm at Jeremy's, but I'm getting ready to take my son Mason home, or to his dad's. This is gonna be a long day for me. I worked today, and then I had to rush and do this, and I had to work over a little bit because I had to take Joe to school this morning, and normally Jeremy does, but he was out of town. So anyway, I gotta take Mason all the way home, which is a little over an hour, and then come back and edit this video, which you guys are seeing. It means it's already been edited. So I got cut off. Well, I didn't get cut off. I thought I was filming, talking about whatever I was talking about. I was explaining something and it really wasn't even important. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.